Hello, my fellow mouse clicking architects out there. Today's tutorial, how's it going? My name's Nick, licensed registered architect in the US, Colorado, Utah. Today's tutorial, we're going to get into the dimension align tool. Not the basics of it, more advanced kind of different parameters you can alter. We've all used it on a daily basis, but do we know how to customize our different linear dimension types effectively, so that we are using them instead of them using us? So how to gain better control of your dimensioning styles and types. We're going to get into the different parameters involved. So lots of parameter customization available within the dimensioning tool. So let's get started. First, I have a floor plan here, just a sample project. What this is some 2x3 wood slatting. So it's a 2x3 wood slat, spaced 5 inches on center. You can see that in floor plan here. I'll just show you a quick elevation of what we're looking at. So I wanted to mention this in floor plan to show the, the dimension on center, what this looks like, and kind of more effectively document this. So in the floor plan, let's get into it. First, if you just hit DD for the dimension tools, what I use, you can go to keyboard shortcuts and set up whatever you'd like. I recommend, if you don't have a hotkey for the dimension tool set up, like a personal hotkey, I would recommend doing that. So to do that, you just type in dimension here in the search bar, find align dimension. That's one we're going to be using the most today. And then, click here, create a shortcut. Say you want DA as the new shortcut and assign that. It's already being used for the angular dimension, as you'll see right here. So I like DA for angular and DD for line dimension. Feel free to use the same if you think that's a good one to use, or just create your own, or use whatever Revit gives you. I don't remember what Revit's built-in keyboard shortcut is for that anymore. I'm going to remove DA because Revit does not like duplicates, or it doesn't work as well when there are duplicates. So I'm going to remove DA from that, so that it's just DD. So that's what I'm going to be using today as for my keyboard shortcut on that. To find that, if you're new to Revit, you can just go to annotate and aligned dimension up here. So anyway, let's click that and let's just show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to just dimension to center line of these, which is 5 inches on center for these slats. Right now that looks horrible, right? It's too big a font. It's not spaced appropriately. The font's overlapping itself. And if you click here, you can always, shift these over, which if you're an experienced Revit user, you obviously know that, to make it so they don't overlap. However, I just want to alter this. I want to make first I want to make the font smaller. So it's just too big. It's bugging me. So we'll backspace out of those movements, and we're going to click on this align dimension here. Then we're going to go to edit type on the top right to edit the type of this linear dimension style. First, you'll see that first we're going to want to duplicate this, because I want to keep this 3/32 inch dimension, but I just want to create a new one. So I'll duplicate this, and I suggest using the duplicate tool often so that you're not just changing things back and forth and confusing yourself. I'm going to name this 1/16 inch instead of 3/32. So linear 1/16 inch Arial. I'm going to keep the font the same. So going down, now that the name is changed, we now need to change the font text size. So right now it's 3/32, as you'll see here. We're going to change that to 1/16 inch and hit enter or OK. And there you go. The font size has changed. However, this still isn't great, right? So font size has changed. We still have overlapping. We still have issues. Next I want to get rid of this. Depending on your Revit setup, sometimes there is this leading 0 feet before the 5 inches. And I don't think that's necessary, really. It's pretty obvious just having 5 inches instead of 0 feet before. It works fine when you're at 1 foot 3 inches, but when you get smaller than a foot, it's gonna keep this 0 feet, and I don't like it. So let's suppress that. Let me show you how to do that. So again, clicking on the dimension, going into the type tool, we're going to go down to units format under primary units. If you've never used this button, definitely get used to it. It's useful for sure. So you're going to click there. We're going to go to where it says use project settings, which is what it's currently using. We're going to uncheck that, and that's fine. It shouldn't be a big deal unless you're at a firm that doesn't allow you to do that. We're in the US currently, so we're using feet and fractional inches. That's fine. To the nearest 1/32 inch is fine for now. You can, if you would like to be a lot more exact, you can go up to 1/256, or you can go down to 1/16, 1/8 inch, whatever you'd like. For this project, I'm going to stick with 1/32 inch, and that's just where it rounds to, right? So it's going to round to 1/32 inch, which is fine for this project. So what I want to do is suppress the 0 feet before the inches. To do that, you just hit this checkbox here, and that's it. Hit OK, and OK one more time. And now you'll see we have a linear dimension style at 1/16 inch. It's looking cleaner already, and suppressing the 0 feet, which nobody wants that, right? So instead of dragging these back, say we get these all messed up, sometimes it's faster to just delete it and restart instead of dragging them back into the correct place. So if I restart, see, it went back to this 3/32 because that's what I was using prior. So to edit that, go ahead and hit DD for dimension or the dimension tool, and then change it up here first before clicking anywhere. So we're going to go to that linear 1/16 inch, and we're going to set this up. Okay, I'm just grabbing like 4 or 5 points because I don't think it's necessary to show. People get the gist of it just by showing a few center lines of this 2x3 sliding. So far it's looking a lot cleaner, but let's get into more editing of this and make it even cleaner, right? So maybe I want to, let's see, next let's show some center lines here. Since this is the center line of these slats, I want to show a center line symbol. To do that, click again on the dimension, go into edit type again. Everything's in this edit type parameter section, all the tools we're going to be using today. So we're here, we're going to scroll down, and let's see, what are we doing? We are finding the center line symbol. So that should be right here in the middle, center line symbol. Right now it's set to none. We're going to set that to center line. And you know what, before we do that, say I want to keep this 1/16 aerial and duplicate it, and then create a centerline type so that we have one without centerlines and one with centerlines. So this one's just going to be called centerlines, and we're going to hit OK. So we've duplicated and created a new type, and then we'll change that centerline symbol to centerline. Along with that, we want a centerline pattern to be something besides just a solid line. Say we do this aligning line 1/8 inch. Okay, so we're changing these two parameters, and we're hitting OK. So as you'll see, we now have the center line symbol, which is awesome, and we now have a different line type. Instead of just a solid line, it's showing kind of an aligning line or a center line to signify that. Okay, this is looking better. One more thing, maybe this tick mark is just too large, right? It's a little too big for this. So again, this isn't like necessary things in this tutorial, but it's just to help you kind of have more control over your parameter settings and more control so that you control them and they don't control you. So clicking there, edit the type. We're gonna change the tick mark here. Right now it's diagonal 1/8 inch. You can set many different, depending on how many different families you have in here. You can set it to like a dot filled 1/16 inch. So there's a dot. I like the diagonal line. I think that's a better standard. So we'll go back, we'll edit that again, and we'll change that to, we want diagonal 1/16 inch. Right now we have diagonal, which who knows what size that is. Diagonal 1/8, diagonal 3/64. So we don't have a 1/16 inch. So let me show you real quick where to create a new one so that we have that option here below. So we're gonna cancel out, we're gonna cancel that change. We'll keep with the dotted for now. We're gonna go up into manage. We're gonna go to additional settings, and we're going to go to annotations and arrowheads. So if you follow that, you can rewind, but manage additional settings, annotations, and arrowheads. Once you're in there, you'll see that this is where those diagonal lines are shown. So you have different arrow styles here. If you click this setting, drop down, you'll see these different options. There's the diagonal and so forth. It's actually under the type though. So under this type arrow 30 degree, you'll see that these are all the different ones we have created. So let's duplicate this. Let's actually go to the diagonal 1/8 inch and let's duplicate it. We're going to change, because we don't have a 1/16 inch diagonal, we're going to change the name to 1/16 inch and hit OK. Okay, and then it's already set for the arrow style of diagonal. The tick size is what we now need to change. So we'll just type in 1/16 inch tick size and hit OK. Now that's not going to change yet because we haven't added it yet. But when we go to the edit type of the dimension again, you'll see that that option is now available. Magic. So we're using these, we're going to the tick mark and changing this dot filled to a diagonal 1/16 inch and selecting OK. So that diagonal is now smaller than the diagonal we had for 1/8 inch, as you'll see, right? So that 1/8 inch diagonal is a bit bigger. We're going to go back to that 1/16 inch, just Control Z out of that and keep that 1/16 inch diagonal. Okay, this is looking so much cleaner already. This is great. So last thing I want to show you is really just a kind of tedious thing. If you want to change this spacing between the element that you're dimensioning and the line here, so this little spacing here, you can do that with the same edit type and within these parameters. To find that, it should be called, let's see, witness line gap to element is the setting there. It's set currently to 1/16 inch, which is what that gap is. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Say we want to, have a little bit larger gap, and so let's put it at 1/8 inch. Again, this is just personal preference, whatever you'd like to set this to. Maybe you just want a little bit bigger gap there, and there it is, 1/8 inch gap between here and the element that we're dimensioning. So we're about done here. I think that kind of showed you, different ways to reset the font type, the size, add centerline symbols here, change the centerline line when it isn't the centerline of something. So I'm going to hit DD again and show you that when it's not the center line of something, it will be the normal line type. Well, let's grab, so right now this is the 1/16 inch aerial center lines. Let's use that here too. And as you'll see, that's not grabbing the center line, so it's not going to have a center line symbol. However, I still prefer, when not using center lines, to use just a regular dimension type. So that's kind of how that all works. One other thing, kind of a unique thing, if you're tired of kind of grabbing, say you dimension several grid lines and you want to, instead of maybe you want to add these up, and to add them up you could just do this, of course, but maybe you're doing some intense modeling and you're tired of adding up totals of feet and inches and kind of calculating between feet and inches all the time, which happens sometimes when you're modeling. You can do something like this where you create a new dimension style type. So say we want to create a new dimension style type that's just inches and doesn't show feet at all. To do that, you just edit the type again and go in here, duplicate. Say we call this same thing, linear 1/16 inch aerial, but then we have a dash and call it, inches only. Maybe bold that so that it's very clear when you're looking through your dimension types. So inches only, we're going to go down here to units format, click here, We are already not using the project settings, which is great. We're going to just change this from feet and fractional inches to inches only. 0 decimal places is fine. Actually, you know what? Maybe we want 1 decimal. Let's just do 0 decimal places. Maybe we want 1. And suppress trailing 0. That doesn't matter really for this. We'll hit OK and OK again. And you'll see that this is inches only. So it's going to 1 decimal place. Maybe we want to change it to 2, and whatever you want to do. But I kind of like this. It's kind of nice if you're like, you don't want to round too much, and maybe you're like adding up a lot of dimensions to try to figure something out when you're modeling. This is just a useful tool, kind of an extra thing if you ever want to just set a dimension to inches only and you're tired of like calculating 12 inches is a foot and so forth. But that's just an extra thing you can do if you'd like. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and go ahead and hit that subscribe or like button below if you enjoyed any part of this video or got anything out of it at all. Hit any comments, shoot those over to me below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for your time.